Uh, Welcome. Today we'll see what is the difference between procedure oriented programming and object oriented programming. So for this comparison, I'm using some parameters which are listed as program division. First parameter is program division, second parameter is importance, approach, access specifiers, data moving, expansion, data access, data hiding, overloading, and we'll see some different examples also. So depending on these parameters, we'll compare procedure oriented programming and object oriented programming. So as we put the first parameter as a program division, it is divided into, in procedure oriented programming, programs are divided into small parts which are called as the functions. So whatever the functionality we have to perform in procedure oriented program, we design functions for it. In object oriented programming, programs are divided into the parts and these parts are called as the objects. So then the second parameter we use for comparison is importance. In procedure oriented programming, importance is not given to the data but to functions as well as sequence of actions to be done. It means functions are playing major role in procedure oriented programming, and in object oriented programming importance is given to the data rather than procedures or functions because it works as a real world. Here the importance is given to the data. It means as we are using the classes here, so incorporation of the data and functions, so the importance is given to the data. Next parameter for comparison is approach. Procedure oriented programming follows the top down approach and object oriented programming follows the bottom up approach. It starts in procedure oriented programming, the execution of the program is started from the topmost part of the program, and in object oriented programming it we start from the main functions no matter how many number of classes are there above the main method. Then the next parameter is access specifiers. Procedure oriented programming does not have any access specifier. In object oriented programming we have access specifiers: public, private, protected, etc. Then the next parameter for comparison is data moving. In procedure oriented programming, data can move freely from function to function in the system, and in object oriented programming, objects can move and communicate with each other through the member functions. So there may be, as the in procedure oriented programming, as the data can move freely, so there are chances of losing the data. So as compared to this, object oriented programming is better. And next parameter is expansion. To add new data and function in procedure oriented programming is not so easy, but object oriented programming provides an easy way to add a new data and function. That facility is called as the inheritance. By using the inheritance we can easily add some new features to the existing features also. So this is nothing but the reusability, or it can say it's expansion. Next parameter is data access. In procedure oriented programming, most function uses the global data for sharing that can be accessed freely from function to function in the system, and in object oriented programming data cannot have move easily from function to function. It can be kept public or private, so we can control the access of data. Data hiding is the next parameter. In procedure oriented programming does not have any proper way of hiding the data, so it is less secure, and as compared to the POP, object oriented programming provides data hiding. So I think it's more secure, or the security to the applications can be provided in object oriented programming. So as we know, we have private access specifier, which is used for this hiding purpose, data hiding purpose. Implementation can be hidden. Next parameter is overloading. In procedure oriented programming, overloading of members, functions and operators is not possible, but in object oriented programming, overloading is possible in the form of function overloading and operator overloading. So as I said we can overload functions as well as operators. Then the last parameter for this comparison is, we'll see some examples of these procedure oriented programming languages are like C, VB, Fortran, Pascal, and object oriented programming languages are C++, Java, VB.NET, C Sharp, .NET. So all these are the parameters used for comparison of the procedure oriented programming and object oriented programming. Thank you very much.